Hey everyone, welcome back to another PvP showcase where today we're going to be looking at Potterfiend and we're basically going to be using it in ranked. So as many of you guys know, Potterfiend actually got a buff this season. Now honestly thought I would never say this, but Potterfiend is actually insane and one of the top doodles in this current meta, simply because well, I mean, it was good beforehand. I mean, I guess in sand teams, I mean, it wasn't really good outside of sand teams because literally all of its traits were basically made for sand, or if it wasn't that, it was basically like a gimmick mon with I think armor break and durable. But durable actually got changed and it got a way better trait in my opinion. So yeah, it's actually usable outside of gimmicks and sand teams. So yeah, Potterfiend is now one of the best doodles in the game, and at least in the current format, current competitive, alongside like all of the like meta doodles. Now, what makes Potterfiend so good is its basically its typing. So dark and earth, we don't really have very many great like earth types. It's mainly like really repetitive between Rotera, Resurgent Earth, and Clangatang. I mean, there isn't really anything else other than that, unless it's like an Awakening. Awaken Cacmeow is pretty good, but that's basically it if you're not using like a sand team or anything. So yeah, now that we have like a good or a better dark type as well. Oh yeah, it's also a dark type, which is also really good. We've only been rotating between like 4 dark types. Enough about of like the typing and how it's used. Let's actually get into the buff and like actual set. So as you guys can see right now, we are using the Cursed Cloak item. This is like, I feel like a better version of Girocera. It does have better stats defensively. I don't know about offensively, but yeah, it has better stats defensively, has more HP, more defense, and more magical defense, and it got refreshed. So you already know this thing is gonna be super good, because refresh automatically makes a doodle really good, especially if it's like more defensive oriented. So that's what made Girocera so good in the first place. Now the only difference between Girocera and that is like, one, the typing, and this thing also gets heal, which I'm just mentioning it because Girocera doesn't get heal. But aside from that, we're using the Cursed Cloak set, so no heal for this one. But yeah, we're using health and magical attack for our investments. You can do defense if you want to be more like defensive oriented. I just wanted to do a little bit of extra damage with my attacks, specifically one being Siphon Soul. So this thing gets really good coverage, that being like Soulfire, Commanding Blow. I'm using Commanding Blow because I was using it with Metal Elytra, which is a new video that's going to be coming out in the future. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to be coming out, so stay tuned for that. So basically I was pairing it up with hazards. You can use Dispose if you want, like a hazard cleanser. I would definitely recommend these 3 moves over like everything else though. So we have Earth Surge for our like magical Earth Stab, Siphon Soul for recovery and our Dark Stab. Then you also have Soulfire for like coverage against like grass types, specifically like Stagine, Thornet, or Awakened Thornet, and like I mean, I guess you could use it against Girocera. You know that they're gonna swap in or something. A couple go as well, but you could probably just click Commanding Blow on this so that it automatically swaps them out. Those are all the moves. Very powerful, very good. Now here are the equipments that I'm using. I'm using Theater Mask, Sapphire Amulet, and Pizza Slice. Like usual, it's defensive oriented, along with doing a little bit more damage. So we have Theater Mask for defense and magical attack, Sapphire Amulet for HP, magical attack, and magical defense, and then Pizza Slice for both defenses. Now with Cursed Cloak, you can take a lot of hits. So I think that's basically it for Potterfiend. Stay tuned for the next showcases, and I'll see you guys in the first battle. Peace.
Did